Oh no.
Hi, I'm Simon, and I may have a bit of an impulse control problem. This 2017 TW200 with suspiciously few miles has seemed to follow me home. I mean, 700 something miles and 7 years old? 8 years old? 8 years old. I mean, who buys this and doesn't ride it? My partner's looking to get back into riding, and this seemed like just the ticket. It's light at 278 pounds and has a low seat height, which makes it very unintimidating. Plus, it has a cult following, so I'm curious to see what that's about. There's lots of information about how to mod it, what to do if stuff goes wrong, and lots of loyal customers and owners of these. The only time I've spent riding one of these is a demo loop at a Yamaha day, so pavement and flogging it behind R7s and MT-09s and all things that are way faster. I was pinned just to keep up. And the short little loop around the block to make sure everything works when I picked this little guy up. So let's go see what this thing's like to ride. Here it is. First ride on the TW200. So, key on, neutral, fuel on, choke all the way out. Oh yeah. Maybe that's a little too much choke. Go in a little bit and wait until the revs climb. All right. First gear.
The first thing I noticed is that the clutch friction zone is pretty narrow and happens with the clutch almost all the way out.
So furious. 200 cc's of fury. Fourth gear? Fifth gear? That's fifth gear.
The second thing I noticed is that it's...
Gear so low.
At 40 miles per hour, it wants to be in fifth gear.
I wonder if we're actually doing 45. I think it's probably a wee bit optimistic. We'll have to confirm later with GPS. I mean, it's teeny tiny. The bars could be a little farther forward for me, but and it died. Huh. Reserve? I need gas. Need gas. Oh, kick it. Need gas. There was nothing in there.
On all of the other carbureted bikes I've ridden, the bike has given a warning and stuttered a little bit before cutting out, but not this TW. It was like a light switch, and it took a little while for the fuel to find its way to the carb after switching to reserve. I've been spoiled by fuel injection. Maybe I'm getting soft. Anyway, the TW is fun on these windy little back roads, but what happens when you get to something a little bit bigger?
Uphill, merging with traffic.
A hefty 45 mile an hour speed limit. Let's see how she goes. Come on, little T-Dub. Oh yeah. Let's test how good this speedometer is. I had expected it to be pretty far off and optimistic, but it looks like it's only reading maybe 2 miles an hour fast, which is pretty impressive. Alright, it is time to do the most street legal top speed run ever.
Except for a Grom, maybe.
Give it the beat! Fifth gear. It's 10.
Wow. 0 to 60 in 24 seconds.
65 on the speedometer. 60, 63. 64. 65. 66. Holy shit, 60. Oh my god. Oh.
Well, that was probably more entertaining than it should have been. But paved county roads aren't why people buy these.
Alright, something a little more interesting.
The TW is definitely most at home off pavement, and it will have you turning down any dirt road you come across just to see what's at the end.
Little too much front brake there. A little bit marbly, but not too bad. Oh, I don't need to shift down for anything. Just fifth gear. Oh, but I can't help myself. And there's no power to slide the rear. Whee! Whoa! It's marbly. I can feel the front moving around, but I feel the front sliding before the rear. Maybe not the most confidence-inspiring feeling. They do call this a death wing. Yeah, that's exciting.
The 1987 Psycho World test had the same complaint. The front tire, however, doesn't work as well on as wide a variety of terrain and tends to slide out before the rear. That article was fun to read and still rings true, especially because the bike has barely changed since it first debuted in 1987. There was one update in 2001, which removed the Kickstarter and put a disc brake on the front, but otherwise, this 2017 model is a time capsule from the late 80s.
We're at the national speed limit whenever this bike was designed, or is that as fast as they want you to make the engine turn?
The national speed limit was 55 miles per hour from 1974 to 1995. So while the TW200 could do the national speed limit when it was first made, taking it on the highway is not an experience I'd recommend.
This is what this bike is for. Exploring places like this. It's so light, I'm not worried about turning around. Is this the end of the road? It was the end of the road.
Dead-end roads are always a fun thing to explore.
And speaking of dead ends...
Oh, that is maybe a little more than I bargained for. Let's go take a look. No, not today, Junior. Not today. But what a good-looking little bike. It's simple, but has presence. The super fat tires certainly don't hurt. Well, let's go find another way around. There's too much grip. Try that again. Try it again. Woo! One more time. Deep. What do you think? It doesn't look that deep. Worst case is I get some wet feet. I don't know. Definitely a beautiful little spot. Doesn't seem that deep. I think I'll make it. Like a boss. Like a champ. Like a champ. That was fantastic. It didn't tear at all. Oh, what a great little bike. Oh, and the CRV can make it through. I surely can. Yeah. Oh no. Oh, that was foolish. Well, there's no water in the airbox. But there is for sure water in my boots. Rats.
So it turns out that there's a vent line that runs down toward the swing arm pivot, and if that goes underwater, it kills the engine. But I did not know that at the time. So I guess putting a T in that vent line is now on my list of mods to do. I also don't think the CRV went through. There were no drippy trails running up the other side.
Should have gone way over there. Gore-Tex boots. Just as good at keeping the water in as they are keeping it out.
Does anyone else play the How Closed Is It game? It can't be just me. In this case, it does appear to be quite closed, but the TW's tight turning radius makes it a non-issue. Since my preferred route of travel was closed, I had to conquer my fear and go back through the water crossings. At least my boots can't get any wetter. The TW is more than happy to bound over the loose, slippery rocks in the creek. After being completely submerged, the rear drum is very ineffective and very verbal. Dragging the rear brake down a hill brings the stopping power back.
Dragging it down a hill for a little bit. Oh, it locked right up again.
This bike really shines when conditions get a bit sketchy, the deep water vent line issue notwithstanding. The rear tire has so much grip that it just climbs up loose surfaces. I rode up this on my Tenere 700 recently and there was lots of wheel spin and it didn't feel nearly as planted. Its lightweight gives you the confidence to play around and try things that may cause some hesitation on a heavier, taller bike. And have I mentioned the turning radius? It's ridiculously tight.
Alright, let's see. I think I can do just about one space, which is insane. Yeah, just over.
And how is it on tight, twisty roads?
Actually super fun. You feel like you're giving it 100%. Just for fun. It is fun. Do a lap. Oh, it is good. Oh boy, those front brakes are a little bit weak. Especially coming off the Tenere 700 and the Husky Spark Pillin 401. It's a rudimentary stopping device.
They may have upgraded to a front disc in 2001, but it keeps the spirit of the original drum.
I also have a set of sintered pads to try on this, see if that makes a big difference.
So, who is this bike for? For me, I don't think it would stick around for long if it were my only bike, but it's solid, lightweight, and extremely simple. You can have, and many have, ridden it across the country, provided you have the time and patience. It's great around small towns and back roads, and it makes light of terrain that may be intimidating on a bigger bike, as long as you aren't trying to set any speed records. It lets you bumble along and enjoy the environment around you, which is one of my favorite things about motorcycling, being immersed in the surroundings. It's a fun little bike that reminds us to not take ourselves so seriously all the time.
Oh. Oh boy, that was closer than I would have liked. Time to be eased. Just because it's a tiny little bike doesn't mean you can't still hurt yourself.
So be careful out there, and tell your parents you want a TW200. If you're still here, thanks for coming along, and subscribe for more motorbike content like this. Oh, and given the popularity of the Honda 125 line, I bet if they put the fuel-injected XT250 engine in the TW, they would sell like hotcakes.